So, winter arrives, and we all have that cozy image in our heads, right? Our cats, all curled up by the heater, totally safe from the cold outside. We figure their fur coat is like this perfect built-in winter jacket. But what if that picture of comfort is actually hiding a silent struggle? Let's dive into the hidden dangers our cats face every winter, and, more importantly, how we can become their voice.
I mean, we see this, and we think, job done. The cat looks completely content, totally shielded from the ice and snow. It's so easy to just assume that because they're indoors, everything's perfect, they're safe.
But here's the question we really need to start asking ourselves. Is that comfort just an illusion? Is it possible that our best intentions, cranking up the heat to keep them warm, could actually be causing harm they just can't tell us about?
Okay, get ready for this number, because it is frankly shocking. Recent studies are showing that up to 90%, that's 9 out of 10 cats over the age of 12, have signs of osteoarthritis. And here's the kicker. The vast majority of us owners have absolutely no idea.
And this quote from veterinary experts just nails it. Unlike dogs, cats have this deep primal instinct to hide their pain. It's all about survival. So they're not going to cry or limp in an obvious way. They just suffer quietly. And believe me, winter makes it so much worse for them.
So, let's start with what I call the first well-intentioned mistake. This is the dangers of comfort, where our attempts to create this perfect, cozy paradise for them can actually seriously backfire.
Okay, so we turn up the central heating, we seal the windows to keep all that warmth in. Our goal is simple, a warm, cozy home. But the risk? It's severe dehydration. That heated air becomes incredibly dry and it just leaches moisture from everything, including your cat. And since cats naturally have a pretty low thirst drive to begin with, this can lead to this chronic, low-level dehydration that puts a ton of stress on their kidneys.
And the signs are so subtle, we just write them off as winter laziness. You might notice a little more dandruff when you pet them, or you think, oh, they're just sleeping more because it's cold. Maybe their nose feels a little dry, or you realize you're not scooping the litter box as often. Please don't ignore these. They are all red flags.
Now, the good news is, the fixes for this are actually really simple. Getting a humidifier puts that moisture right back into the air. A water fountain? Way more exciting for a cat than a boring old bowl of still water. And a super easy one, switch to wet food or just add some to their diet. Warm it up a little bit, it's a fantastic way to sneak more fluids into them. Okay, let's circle back to that shocking 90% statistic. That cold, damp weather, the kind that makes our own joints feel a bit stiff and creaky, well, it can dramatically worsen the hidden pain of arthritis in our cats.
So what exactly is feline arthritis? It's a painful inflammation of their joints. And because, as we said, cats are masters of disguise when it comes to pain, we owners often don't spot it until it's gotten really bad. The cold just acts like this constant, dull ache that they can't get away from.
So, how do you become a pain detective? You've got to watch for the small changes. Do they kind of hesitate before jumping onto the couch now? Have they ditched their favorite high-up sleeping spot for a bed on the floor? A cat in pain often stops grooming properly, so their coat can get matted. And a sudden mood change, like hiding all the time or getting snappy when you touch them, that's a huge sign that something's not right.
And this brings me to another huge misunderstanding about cats in winter, what I call the lethargy myth. We just assume they sleep more because, well, it's cold and dark. But so often, it is not laziness. It is pure, profound boredom. Think about it. Cats are predators. They are hardwired to hunt, to chase, to pounce. And when they're cooped up inside all winter with nothing to do, that core instinct gets completely shut down.
And that boredom, it has a real cost. It leads to stress, which can cause them to gain weight. It can lead to destructive behaviors like scratching up the furniture or biting. And that crazy, insistent meowing in the middle of the night? Your cat isn't just being naughty. They are frustrated out of their minds.
The solution here is not complicated at all. You do not need a bunch of expensive toys. Even simple, homemade things like puzzle feeders can do wonders. The key takeaway is this. Just 10 minutes of focused, interactive play twice a day. That's it. It's enough to reawaken that hunting instinct and totally restore their mental balance.
Okay, so we've covered the subtle dangers. Now let's switch gears and talk about some of the more immediate, acute threats that winter can bring right into our homes.
We all love making our homes smell festive, right? Scented candles, oil diffusers, but a lot of those popular winter scents, especially things like pine, cinnamon, and eucalyptus,
They contain compounds that are actually toxic to cats. Their little bodies just can't process them, which can lead to serious lung irritation and even liver damage.
And then there's the holiday chaos. You've got guests over, there's loud noises, furniture gets moved around. For a creature of habit like a cat, this can be incredibly stressful. And that anxiety isn't just in their head, it can physically weaken their immune system. So always make sure they have a quiet, safe room they can escape to.
Now for the most serious warning of all. When it gets cold, cats will look for any warm place to hide. And two of the most common and deadliest spots are car engines that are still warm and clothes dryers. Please listen to me carefully on this. This is not optional. These are non-negotiable, life-saving habits. Every single time you get in your car, bang loudly on the hood. Give any animal in there a chance to get out. Every single time you do laundry, physically look inside the dryer before you shut that door. And finally, just be smart about the cold. When it drops below about 5 degrees Celsius or 41 Fahrenheit, it's really best to keep them inside. These actions take less than 5 seconds, and they can be the difference between a normal day and an unthinkable tragedy.
So after all of these warnings, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's about shifting our whole perspective. It's about really understanding that our cats can't speak for themselves, so we have to learn to be their voice.
Think of this as your winter care toolkit. It's all about being observant and being proactive. Watch for those tiny changes in their routine. Really commit to that daily playtime. Learn the subtle signs of pain and dehydration. Make checking those dangerous spots a habit you never, ever break. And be their safe space when the world gets too loud and chaotic.
You know, when it comes right down to it, it's all about this. Your cat is constantly communicating with you. Through their behavior, their habits, those subtle little shifts in their move, they are telling you everything you need to know. The only real question is, are you listening?